Darren and I saw...
Mufasa, the Lion King.
Yes. I'm pretty sure I saw the same font on Jesus, the King of Kings. So they were really reaching here.
So you know, like, just a quick backstory. The Lion King is one of my favorite films.
Right. The 94 one.
The 94 animated Lion King is one of my favorite films. No interest in the live action, the CGI one.
Right.
And after seeing Mufasa, the lack of interest stands.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but we'll get into it.
Okay. Well, so Mufasa is a Jedi.
He is a Jedi because he can sense things so far, like a day's journey away.
Oh, yeah.
He can just smell the air, and there's antelope. One of them is with a limp. I mean, it's just...
He can't swim.
No.
Okay, cool. Cat.
Yeah. Cat.
However, while he is actively drowning, he can sense boulders falling through the water.
Because of the dolphin sense.
Right.
He's got Echo. He's got Echo the dolphin sense. I have to make you play that, and we'll do one of these for that. Spoiler alert, Echo's not good either. No, so the movie opens with present day-ish, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's like Kiara and Simba and Nala are going off to the birthing tree, right? For Kiara's brother. Which when we got to see the kid at the end of the movie, I was anticipating and I was clenching for them to be like, "This is your brother, Kovu," and then I would have jumped up and thrown my empty popcorn container at the screen, but I didn't because that didn't happen.
I don't recognize this reference.
Lion King 2.
Okay.
Kiara is a grown-ass cat at that point.
Okay.
And she meets Kovu, who may or may not be related to Scar. It's left vague on purpose. Mm-hmm. And he's an outsider. And speaking of outsiders, that's the whole point of this story.
That's pretty much, yeah. Everybody's an outsider.
Yeah.
But there's good outsiders and there's bad outsiders.
It just depends on what side of the jingoistic fence you're on.
It turns out that the white ones are really bad.
But anyway, like, so Kiara's scared of a thunderstorm. Timon and Pumbaa. We finally know why they're in this film. It's because they're her babysitters.
They're in this film because somebody decided it needed to be 2 hours long instead of an hour and a half. I did not like Timon and Pumbaa
at all.
The least little bit in this.
No, they're annoying.
I referred to them variously in my notes.
Yeah.
As Timon and Pumbaa, Ren and Stimpy.
Yep.
Beavis and Butthead.
Uh-huh.
Mutt and Jeff. And then Wish.com, Laurel and Hardy.
So they try to tell Kiara a story to keep her occupied during the storm, and then Rafiki shows up because Rafiki is also in this. And while he's telling the story of Mufasa's origin, these guys keep showing up. Like every 15 minutes, as if... Well, I mean, that's probably the average attention span for, who this movie is aimed towards. But still, like...
5, maybe 6 interruptions.
Yeah.
And when there's an interruption from Kiara who's asking a question...
That makes sense.
Then they still have something to say.
Because of course they do.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah.
So Disney really loves patricide.
They do.
They really love killing dads.
We got to get this dead dad train going,
and man, are there a lot of them in this one.
So many.
So many dead dads. The reason the lion hearts are so big is because they got to have room for all of the dead dads in them.
I don't understand.
Because there's at least 3
in
this movie.
So Mufasa gets...
4 I forgot Mufasa.
Yeah, Mufasa gets separated. You see kid Mufasa. He's cute. He's adorable, whatever. I mean, he's CGI, so there's no soul there. But he gets separated from his family by, stop me if you heard this one, a natural disaster comes and separates a child from their family. So that's Disney trope 1. And sure enough, we never see the dad again.
No.
You know, Mufasa.
He dies off screen, like almost everything else.
Almost everything else. The kids watching the film, I guess they didn't want to go too far. Like, they're dead, but you didn't get to see it at least.
Yeah. They didn't care about that when we were 12.
No, because we were tougher stock back then. But anyway, so he floats downriver. He floats downriver for, like, I'm assuming, several days.
Well, he ends up in the ocean at one point.
It seems.
Apparently, he was from one of those, Central Russian
African
steppes.
forest.
Yeah.
And ends up the first time he meets Taka. Is that Taka's name?
Taka.
Taka is now.
He was born on a Tuesday.
I will. I will admit this seems like something a child would do. In that, hey, I've got a secret. What? And again, Mufasa completely forgets that he's, drowning. He just kind of like holds on to the log and, what's the secret? Tell me the secret.
Oh, I can't tell you the secret.
Tell me the secret. Go on, tell me.
I don't think I should.
Please, just tell me the secret.
You're about to be eaten by a crocodile.
Crocodile's right behind him. Gets to the first of many callbacks to the original Lion King.
Oh, yeah. We have, Claws of Rescue Part 1.
Part 1 of, what was it, 4 or 5?
At least 2.
I counted 3.
Okay. I got the first and the last.
First and the last, and then there was one, I think, somewhere in the middle. If I had a quarter for every time this movie called back to a much better movie,
we probably would not have had to pay for our tickets.
I would have had at least $5. Because I counted 20 references to the original Lion King.
I was not doing that.
But 3 or 4 of them was Scar/Taka grabbing Mufasa by the hands. It's a popular shot.
Well, Jesus had scars on his hands.
Okay, and that's where we're going.
That seems to be where we're going.
Yeah.
Who is going to unite all of the realms and...
Going to the place beyond where the light is. Mm-hmm. What do they call it?
They called it
Malele.
Yep.
It's the Pride Lands.
Yep, Malele.
All right, but
let's see.
Sorry,
Malele equals paradise equals. This is from my notes. This is a movie desperately seeking a theological source and failing to find it.
Yeah. And by the way, I know we didn't do a spoiler warning at the beginning, and it'll be in the notes, but spoilers for this whole film.
Oh, yeah.
We're spoiling the crap out of it.
You shouldn't go see it.
Yeah.
So you may as well listen to us.
All right, so I've derailed you from your notes a little bit. So
that's fine.
We meet Taka at this point.
We meet Taka, and we get saved, and we find out that xenophobia is the rule of this particular area of the Pride Lands.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that made sense. Cats are known xenophobes.
We don't like outsiders.
Nope.
And so we're going to eat this one.
Yeah, that made sense.
But what if I win a race? This comes out of nowhere.
It does. Oh, my God.
So anyway, sure, you're going to race my son, the prince, and you better win. Otherwise, I'm going to eat you.
But if
also,
yeah.
You haven't eaten, and who knows, you've been
floating for days.
And drowning for how many...
Yeah.
However long it takes to get from Moscow to Africa.
Yeah.
But
if he wins, he also gets a new mom.
Yeah. He gets a new mom.
So he's got some kind of motivation, at least.
Well, the thing is, he does very well for somebody who is knocked down at the beginning of the race by a lion 7 times bigger than he is.
Mm-hmm. A grown-ass adult.
Having PTSD from nearly drowning again. Yeah. So Mufasa should have won on a fair kind of...
Yeah, he probably would have won on a fair race, but Taka throws the fight because we get the I Always Wanted a Brother song, which really quickly transitions into I Can't Wait to Be King.
Right. I just can't wait to be king.
I just can't wait for my dad to be dead.
Yep. It's a pale reflection of its 1994 counterpart.
For reasons.
I mean, most of the movie is.
Yeah.
But... See, the thing is that so many people were talking about it being the original Lion King as being Hamlet. It's not, but I get what they were coming from.
It's Kovu the White Lion.
Right. So, and then you got, Timon and Pumbaa that version of it, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get, Lion King 2, which is Romeo and Juliet, if we're going to be all...
Yeah, sorry, Kimba, the White Lion. Go ahead.
Yeah. Kubo had 2 strings. So I was kind of hoping this one was going to be a King Lear.
Yeah.
No. That's not what we're doing here.
Not even a little bit.
So anyway... because Mufasa gets to be adopted by this pride, and he has to stay with the women, and the women are the ones who do the hunting and a lot of the fighting and the work and so forth. He comes under the tutelage of Jedi Master Isha, the pride,
the
king's queen,
the queen of the pride. Yeah,
and that's how we learn that Mufasa actually has super special abilities. That no male lion has ever had before,
because he actually hunted with the females.
With the females, that's right. It doesn't come off well.
No,
luckily, during one of these times, a couple of white lions, some outsiders that we don't like,
the white ones,
white ones, they're dangerous.
We would know.
They attack. And Mufasa saves his adopted mom.
Yep, kills one of them.
Taka sees it, and because his tragic flaw is cowardice, he runs away.
He does.
And so what we get then is the xenophobia gets replaced in the dad figure with some shame.
Yeah.
For his actual biological son.
Right.
Is like, I didn't like him because he was an outsider. Now I don't like you because you're a coward who saved your own life.
Right. Yeah. You did the one rule of nature, in that was survive.
Mm-hmm.
But because this outsider has now proven that he can be of use in some way, he's okay. He's okay. Bring it in.
So, and we learned that, there's a lot more of these outsiders, and they're going to come and they're going to kill everybody.
It was like 2 for every one of them or something like that. Yeah.
It was a big pride.
Yep.
So Taka is told, you got to run. You got to make sure that the pride lives.
You got to run because there's no way you're going to survive.
Well, that's what you're good at, so you just keep doing that.
Yep, you run, buddy.
Mufasa's going to go with you to protect you and be loyal to you, because Mufasa's a lion of his word.
Sure.
Being Jesus and everything.
Aslan is just pissed right now.
You know what? Ren and Stimpy are still stupid. Sorry, this is where
No, I know.
The notes go. Deceit is the tool of a great king.
That was a line, yeah.
That was the line from Taka's dad, Obasi. And it was said like there was a gap between other things that was being said.
Yeah.
So there was like silence, this line, more silence. It's like, we're going to come back to this.
Yeah. It was basically he wanted Taka to not let anyone know that he was a giant raging coward.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I can't lie. I'm like, of course you can.
You're going to be king.
Kings lie. We do it all the time.
That's what they do.
There's one point where he said, you got to learn how to be a king, and then he flops down and he lies on the ground, and I'm like, oh, look at that. A lion king. They did the thing.
So then we get, I don't remember the bad king lion's
I don't remember
name.
It doesn't matter. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye is his song. Mads Mikkelsen is his voice.
Yeah.
It hurts my head. It is a waste of a Mads Mikkelsen.
That's a bad
to
song.
give him such a bad song. And it's like, I think what they told Lin-Manuel Miranda is like, hey, you get one draft each.
That's the only thing that can explain it, because
this
Lin-Manuel is usually really good at this.
And this guy who is animated so menacingly would not be cutesy. He's not cutesy anywhere else in this. But in this song, he's got this cutesy little bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir.
Can you imagine if Be Prepared ended with like Star going bye-bye? But like Jeremy Irons.
Toodles.
Yeah, or something like that.
TTFN. We can use that. It's copyrighted. It's archived. Yeah, okay. So then there was the Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Mufasa.
Yeah.
You know, not a joke.
Nope, that happened.
Off-screen wife is looking at me like I'm joking. I'm not joking.
It happened.
You know, Hakuna Mufasa, and they say, you sang it for 6 years. Oh, who didn't? And the fourth wall break is bad.
There's a lot of them, too.
There's a lot of them. It's like, it's so bad.
They remembered that adults... See, I'm not sure if it was they remembered that...
This is where I said Beavis and Butthead are ruining it again.
I don't know if they remembered that adults were watching the film, or it was a case of, like, the voice actors just threw in their own random jokes, and for whatever reason, Disney's animators were like, son of a bitch, we're using that one too.
You know what? This worked really well when Robin Williams was one of our voice actors. We should just do this with everybody now.
Sure.
Except they shouldn't.
No, obviously not.
Robin Williams is a gift.
Robin Williams was a once-in-a-lifetime genius. Nothing against the voice cast here, but none of them are that.
No. At least not comedically anyway.
No, not comedically. Mads Mikkelsen's great.
Mads Mikkelsen, most of them, I mean, Chiwetel Ejiofor is really good, and there was a couple of the other voices that's like, wow, that they're really bringing a good A game there.
Yeah.
So, hello, Sarabe and Zazu. You know, turns out Sarabe's was the princess, and her pride was killed.
Probably
by the outsiders.
We don't
That's
find out
yet.
Probably,
You know? And Zazu is basically her scout because he can fly. And how many lions do you know can do that?
Just the one.
Just the one?
Yep.
Yeah, Moonracer.
Yeah.
King Moonracer.
we watched Claymation Rudolph, so
I was gonna say it must be the holiday seasons because nobody remembers King Moonracer outside of the holiday season.
Well, the problem is, like, I don't think Moonracer remembers he can fly.
He stays on his island of misfit toys.
Yep.
So I will say one of my criticisms is the night scenes suffer from a distinct lack of contrast.
Very dark.
Very dark.
Can't tell what's going on.
And like we're in a dark theater. They didn't have the side lights on. This was not.
This is pitch black room.
This was a dark room. So I kind of want to. I don't want to watch the movie again. But like when it comes to Disney Plus, like I'll probably turn it on in my TV room.
Just to see.
Yeah. If maybe we were, because the theater we were in is an old theater. You know,
it was an old theater. When we got there, the movie, we just got the title card. Just got to the Disney title card. And I couldn't see in front of my own face. It was that dark.
It was dark.
So, I mean, that's good, at least as far as like their ability to block out light.
Okay. So anyway, after this dark scenes that we couldn't really tell what was going on.
I'm assuming that there was some lion stuff.
There was lion stuff. Then we get ableism represented with Rafiki.
Rafiki has a limp in the animated one, but he's also an old monkey by that point. So I just figured it was just old monkey.
No, turns out he's always had a bit of a limp.
That's why
except when he doesn't.
That's why they chuck him out of the tree.
They chucked him out of the tree. Another fourth wall break. Fourth wall break 2. Zazu jumps in. It's just as distracting. Yeah. Zazu's fourth wall break, because that's happening within the story.
Yeah. I think it was Zazu's like, hey, we're all a group now. Let's tell each other a secret. And then he looks to the audience and says, I don't remember what it was. I think he had like a crush on a flamingo.
I once had a crush on a flamingo.
Looks right at the audience. I've never told anyone that. And you still haven't. We're not there.
Archie and Jughead are ruining everything again. Ruining everything they're in.
Timon and Pumbaa are like good characters when done right. Using them for non sequiturs is
it's painful.
Yeah,
it hurts. And
these Timon and Pumbaa anyway.
Yeah,
I think 94 Timon and Pumbaa would be fine.
And well, that's Nathan Lane too.
That's true.
You know,
you got some comedic chops there. Yeah.
This is also like the whole reason the story is being told is to keep Kiara's mind off of the storm that's happening. So let's go back to the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Big storm's coming after a long drought. Everybody's like, yes, it's going to rain. Let's all gather at the lowest possible point in a savanna that hasn't had rain in ages.
Yeah.
I'm sure everything will be fine.
Stupid animals. That's got to be what they're going for.
And
because
back to where we're going, I'm going to spoil the best joke of the movie.
Okay.
Now.
Yep.
It is morning, and Zazu comes up to Mufasa and says, "I have a report. It's morning. End of report." That's it. That's the funniest line in Mufasa, the Lion King.
I told Chad that on the drive home that line made me stop and think for a second, God dang it. I have something positive to say.
Oh, I've got positive things to say. But we're going to wait until the end.
We got to get through this.
Mufasa then becomes a Jedi Master to Sarabi.
Sure.
Close your eyes. What do you sense? What do you feel?
Reach out. Now, choke him.
Yes. So then there is a song and dance kind of thing going on in the canyon. You know, the go fast, go fast. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far,
travel
with
together.
others, you know.
Basically, it's a "Hey, we're all friends" song.
So there was the seeds of Scar's betrayal.
Yep.
Because he's got feelings for Sarabi, and we know that that's not the way that's going to go.
No. He was expecting Mufasa to remember bros before hoes, and that didn't happen.
Except it
he did. Yes, that's right.
It did. Every single time.
For a while, until she wore him down with a song.
But fair point to this, that's like 4 or 5 times that he's been like, no, like Scar's the one who saved you from the elephant attack.
That was a lie.
You know, Scar's the one who knew that, duck flowers or flowers from your thing.
That was a lie.
Scar's the one who's supposed to be king, and you're a princess. So
that's true.
All of this stuff just kind of kept. He is very much, desperately trying.
He did
to be the good guy here, and it's just not working.
Nope. She sees through him.
Also, Rafiki's stick gets a backstory. I put a secondary note here.
Yeah.
Darrin audibly sighs and smacks his forehead.
This is true.
I'm sitting 2 seats away.
Yep.
Like there's an empty seat between us.
Yeah.
And Rafiki falls out of a tree at the end of an elephant stampede, and he falls down out of the screenshot, and all of a sudden his hand comes up holding the stick.
Yeah.
And Darrin goes and just
slapped myself on the forehead.
Smacks his forehead.
It was audible. This was yet another of many, many, many references as far as camera shots to the original, with like, hey, let's do a quick zoom in on the animals' faces, their ears droop because they see a bunch of animals coming their way. Hey, let's see one of them run against the flow of animals and get knocked around in almost the exact same way. Hey, let's see one of them hang on to a tree, but the branch broke in the exact same way. Isn't it weird how that happened?
Very weird.
Yeah.
History is a flat circle.
Time is an illusion. Nothing matters.
And then Sarabi decides to play the victim card.
Yeah.
It's like, no one's going to help us. We're lions. I believe what you mean to say is you're predators. And you have lived on the slaughter of the others, and maybe they're going to be slow to trust you for it.
Can't imagine why.
So, everyone hates us because we're lions.
No.
That's that. And then Mutt and Jeff show back up, and they need not be in this movie. Next thing we do is we wake up in the snowy mountains, of Africa. They need Zazu to help them.
Yeah.
They're leaving tracks in the snow, and the white outsiders, the bad ones, are following their footsteps. And so, Zazu, we need you to cover our tracks, not by gently brushing over them, but instead by making a very clear line of disturbed, snow in what seems to be a line up the mountain.
Yeah.
Never mind, it works.
It works.
It worked.
It's good that the villains were stupid then.
We're not going to leave tracks. We're just going to leave heaps of snow.
That could be anyone.
Never mind. It works.
Freaking Yeti.
I also made this note. Rafiki falling down in the snow and then making snow angels got the biggest laugh from the children in the movie theater.
Silly monkey.
Because he doesn't do anything or say anything. Like, he goes to take a step and falls literally on his face in a scene that means nothing, does not advance anything, is not actually all that comedic. But boy, howdy, did that 5-year-old really love it.
That kid did. Because, hey, monkey.
Yeah. Good guy Mufasa tries desperately to be the good brother to Scar when Sarabi comes on to him.
Yep, she's like, tell me it's you. No, it's not. Tell me it's you. Okay.
And then we get the duet, Say It Again. It's very Lin-Manuel Miranda in tone.
It has a lot of his fingerprints on it.
But it lacks his lyrical punch. That's why I say I think that they gave him one draft each.
Just do it.
And just do it. We're on a deadline. And quite honestly, you're famous now, and we're on a budget.
Yeah. Do what you can for the amount we can afford.
But it's during that Sarabi and Mufasa kind of cement their relationship is going to be a thing, which means that Scar's villain turn, his heel turn, if you will. Did I use that correctly?
You did. Okay. Thank you. Yes.
Scar's heel turn is a temper tantrum.
Yeah. Basically, he becomes that one kid from high school that you all know, where girl rebuffs him. He immediately becomes a bully. Just goes straight to the bad guys and like, look, okay, yes, he was my brother. Yes, we've had a lot of fond memories together. But, dude, the girl I likes him through no fault of his own, so I'm going to need you to kill him.
So Chad Mufasa versus Incel Scar.
There you go. Yes.
Is...
Incel Taka. He's not Scar yet.
Yeah. I wrote Scar the entire time.
Because it's obvious who it is.
Of course it's obvious who it was. Now, you want to really throw me? If, like, there had been a second son to the outsider kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Taka died, like, saving...
that guy.
Saving that guy. And Mufasa's like, all right. You can stay, we're going to adopt you into our pride because the rest of your pride's dead.
Right, and our pride is made up of, like, disparate numbers of lions anyway.
And orphans and outsiders and so forth.
So we've got
what's
a monkey,
your name?
Why not?
What's your name? I was always called Scar.
Perfect.
And I was supposed to be king.
Welcome. All right, come on in.
Great.
I mean, you're not going to be.
No.
But welcome.
But, I mean, he will eventually.
Yeah.
Spoilers for a 1994 movie.
I was happy, though, at least that this wasn't because the trailers made it look like it was going to be a case of, like, Mufasa's going to steal Scar's birthright somehow.
Yeah, they did that better than the trailers let on.
Yeah, because that was going in. I was ready to be mad about that, but that ended up not being the case, at least.
Yeah. So
I have other things to be mad about.
Yeah. Scar's sudden ability to be brave and be a lying, manipulative genius seems really convenient.
Out of nowhere.
Like, there really should have been clues to that about 30 minutes earlier.
Well, don't you know that, like, when you decide to betray someone, you get, like, a +1 to your INT?
I did not know that.
Just like that.
Plus 1 to intelligence, plus 1 to charisma. Yeah.
It's a little-known buff.
Also, the, King Cranky's adoption of Scar as his, new son.
That was super easy.
Also, super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
It just happened.
Copyright that guy.
Thank you, Ryan George.
Yep. What did I write next? Quote, "Destiny is near when the earth shakes," end quotes. Because there's an avalanche, and Rafiki says something to that effect. There's...
Yeah. Destiny is near, that's going to come back, too.
To which I wrote down, wildebeest stampede? Or flood from the beginning of the movie? Or elephant stampede?
Or what happens later in the movie. Yeah.
Oh, do you mean, after Wish.com, Laurel and Hardy suck?
Yep.
Yeah. Then everybody in Malele knows who Mufasa is, despite, him traveling to them and nobody being in front of them.
They somehow get to the other side of the mountain. They find the mythical Malele. It's real.
Yeah.
And a giraffe walks up and it's just like, Mufasa?
I read a book like that once. Is Heaven Was for Real? But apparently everybody knows Mufasa. And Taka left a trail of scars. Yeah.
Oh, that's his brand.
Yeah, it's whole thing there.
Yeah, he scratched rocks.
So then we needed to get a Patton-esque speech from Mufasa.
Not nearly enough swearing.
Not nearly enough swearing, but I will say the roar of Rohan was pretty cool. Just, all right, everybody.
I was
over the hill.
I would have loved it if at some point when one of the evil outsiders was facing down Sarabi, if they'd be like, no lion can beat me, and then she'd be like, I'm a lioness, and then, because we need that line too. Why not?
No, no lion can beat me, and then just Rafiki pokes at it with a stick.
I wouldn't have been surprised.
I'd have been fine.
Honestly.
Wakanda, ilele.
There's
that scene.
on your left.
There was not an on your left, but
there should have been.
There should have been. Scar receives his namesake by finding his courage. He finds his courage after he's betrayed Mufasa, after Mufasa is nearly dead, and he just can't bear to see Mufasa be executed, so he jumps in front of the claw that is going to kill his brother and just lightly scratches his eye.
Yeah, it's not even deep.
Yeah.
I get it. Kids are in the audience.
The thing is I couldn't see it after the fact.
I saw it.
I saw it immediately after the fact, but not
when he's in motion, you can't see it.
Yeah. So, Pride Rock gets an origin story.
Stupidest freaking thing.
Big earthquake, creates Pride Rock.
Because of the land shaking.
Yeah.
Destiny.
Destiny awaits.
Destiny means that the mountain opens up like a freaking Pez dispenser and just blah.
And just spits out a Pride Rock.
Spits out a Pride.
Jedi Master Mufasa uses Boulder. It is super effective.
Very effective. Did you know that lions know sonar?
Yep.
Well, some lions.
And after that, that's where I have the Kill Mufasa Grip Part 2.
Yep.
But apparently there was one in the
middle. This is Part 3.
Missed,
yeah.
so.
I think there was one during the wildebeest. The elephant stampede.
Okay.
Where Star pulls him up at some point.
Okay.
So yeah.
Then we get everyone's deciding to make Mufasa king.
It's
because
just
he's brought everyone together.
He brought everyone together,
happen.
And they're just like, "You're the king now," and he's like, "No," and then okay,
and then press X to mom, because
mom's alive.
Mom's alive. Dad's not.
No, of course not.
He's already in. He's already within you.
This is a Disney film. Dad does not make it.
Lion King really likes killing dads, and then. It's the end, and Kiara finds out that she's got a brother, and there's a missed opportunity here.
Yeah.
There is a missed opportunity for her to be able to say, I'll be your lion guard. And that would have been the better ending. I would have given this movie an extra half star just for that ending, but that's not what we got. Instead, we got, let me tell you a story.
I'm going to tell you, but of course we skipped over where, she does the young Simba roar thing.
Oh, yeah. She's got a roar at the sky.
Yeah, just but it's one of those where it sounds like, rawr, just like in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And she roars at the clouds, and then the cloud, Mufasa, roars back at her, and, yada, yada, yada.
I suppose he has to leave from within you in order to roar back from the clouds?
It's like when you cast from your phone to a TV.
Okay.
She's just casting him to the cloud.
Okay.
Pun intended. And so then he roars back, and then, once she leaves the vicinity, he's just gonna Bluetooth back into her soul. It's fine. Someone put that on a shirt, please. Bluetooth back into your soul.
So, my biggest positive, besides that one joke from Zazu, is the scenery.
The scenery's good.
When it's daytime, this is a beautiful movie to see.
It is.
Also, I watched a little bit of live action.
The first one?
Live action Lion King.
The prior one,
and
yeah.
I'm just going to keep calling it that because I don't have a better...
It's CGI Lion King.
CGI Lion King.
Yeah.
They also found a better balance for the facial expressions.
Yeah, I can tell they're making facial expressions.
Because the last one, they seem to be going way into, we want realism. That's fine. And if you're around lions all the time, you can probably see when one of them is disgusted or angry or not.
Yeah, it's all in the eyes.
But I can't.
Yeah.
Because the most I'm around lions is the once a year that I go to the St. Louis Zoo and look for one. And most of the time, that one's just kind of laying there, with his tongue out going,
Well, he's lion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clearly. So
stupid joke.
in animation, you can do a lot of facial expressions and do it really well, right? When young Simba sees the wildebeest coming and we get the dolly zoom, when his whole face, like, clearly his skull is changing shape in that face that he makes. Yeah. They do something similar here. That's not full on skull shape changing facial, but it is an actual expression.
Yeah.
When the floodwaters come.
But it also reminds me of just how much we get GoPro. GoPro eye.
Oh God, I hated it.
Lots of zoom ins on the face. Lots of zoom ins on the face when they're running. Lots of zoom ins on the face when Zazu's flying.
And it wasn't realistic enough.
It doesn't add anything
to work.
Yeah,
I got the sense like this is something that it made me wonder: is this something that they're doing for 3D TVs? Like, I know that it's not a 3D, movie that they're making here,
right?
And yet, I'm like, is this something that's going to get
a
3D release?
It makes me think they thought it was going to get a 3D treatment.
So,
and maybe they pulled the plug on that for whatever reason. Maybe because it's honestly not a very good movie.
It's a disappointing movie in a lot of ways. And never mind how it betrays The Lion King as a movie. Because the point of a prequel is just to see how your characters got to where they are at the beginning of the next movie, right? I mean, that's the whole point,
right?
Is just say, hey, this is how we get to A, which means since you already know who's going to live and who's not going to live, you need to make that journey complicated,
right?
And full of ups and downs and so forth and twists and turns. Like, who is actually back? There could have been a whole bunch. For my money, there should have been a whole bunch of them that ran off together, any one of whom could have been, quote unquote, Scar.
Right.
I mean, imagine that's like a foursome of lions that have to run away or that just choose to run away to start their own pride.
Yeah, Mufasa's there, but there's three others.
But there's three others with different names, and you have no idea which one is which.
Right. You got a 33% shot at figuring out which one Scar is.
And the other two are probably going to die.
Off screen, at least.
But visuals, the nature visuals are really good. But it just kind of makes me want to go and watch Planet Earth. Because... well, the narration's better.
Yeah.
It was nice hearing James Earl Jones at the very beginning.
Right. We know that he licensed his voice to Disney for AI and stuff like that. So I don't know if he recorded this before he passed or if that was part of that. I'm
going to assume that it was before he passed because it was like 2 lines.
Yeah.
It was a very short, but it's just kind of a, you know what? I was glad to hear. I was comforted to hear that.
Yeah. The voice actor they got for Mufasa toward the end of the film did a decent job of like making it sound like a young James Earl Jones.
Funnily enough, the actor who played Taka/Scar tried to change his voice a little bit toward the end too, but made his sound like Jeremy Irons. So, as a direct prequel to the CGI Lion King,
it's probably fine.
It's probably fine. But if you really want a really good Lion King movie, watch the one from the 90s. Yeah. It is head and shoulders more concise, more efficiently told, better told. The emotional beats are better, just in terms of being more impactful. This is a movie that didn't need to exist, and it seems to be falling into Disney's pattern of everything needs a backstory. Which is why we got a Han Solo,
right?
Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano.
I did like those 2 latter shows.
You can like them all you want; they can be good,
right?
But they're unnecessary to the properties.
Sure.
It's like Rogue One is a really good prequel movie. You
don't need it
in and of itself, but part of what makes A New Hope such a great opening is that you don't know any of this backstory.
Yeah, you're just in media res.
You come in and it's like, who the hell is this, big dude with the funky headwear?
What's the deal with the cyborg?
We don't need to know. All we need to know is that this is a dude that saunters.
But yeah, man.
I wanted to at least find something to recommend about Mufasa, in part because I wanted you to hate it. I didn't want you to hate it. I was expecting you to hate it, and I wanted to have that conversation where we go back and forth, where I get to say, yeah, but what about? And have that conversation. But it comes off as, I mean, I took note. I don't take notes in a movie theater. I took notes for 2 hours about things that just irritated me and came up with 2 things I liked.
Yeah, it's not,
and one thing somebody else liked.
It's not offensively bad. It's not good. It's just kind of there. That's probably the worst thing a movie can be. It's just kind of there because like it doesn't say anything important.
No.
It doesn't say anything that hasn't been said before. It doesn't even provide a whole lot of entertainment because, like, even like you mentioned, there were some young kids in the audience, and one joke got them. Otherwise, it was usually some kid in front yelling, "Is that a lion?" Yes, it is, child. And as far as is Mufasa the Lion King a movie? Yes,
it is.
Yes, it is.
And where the soundtrack from the better animated, movie is allowed to kind of have its leitmotifs come in, it's really good. The music is fine for the most part, but again,
the classic music is good.
Lyrically, it falters, which is that it hurts. Because again, Lin-Manuel Miranda is such a forceful talent.
Well, we've been talking about this movie for 40 minutes.
No shit. Yeah. Man, I don't talk about that with movies that I like.
So
we probably better call this a night.
What's the grade for this? Don't see it with friends.
It's a C.
Yeah.
And like the letter C.
Yeah.
Not go NC, but it's a C movie, which means that it's fine, but it's not great, but it's not awful. It's competently made. So
it's a stream it.
Yeah.
Stream it on something you're already paying for.
If you're already paying for it, just stream that. And I don't know, have some drinks while you do.
Please have some for us.
Yeah.
We couldn't drink. We were in the movie theater. So
we were in the movie theater.
All right.
Next time I'll have to bring bigger pockets.
Well, thanks for inviting me to see this.
I'm glad you came.
I'm sorry I couldn't give you more vitriol because at the end of the day, it was just
It wasn't good enough to be bad.
No.
And it wasn't bad enough to be,
insulting.
Insulting. So. All right. Well, we'll catch you at the next whatever.
Yep. Be sure to check dkpodcast.com for more content. And if you want to see Mufasa, the Lion King, God help you.